When I say mess, I mean it. If you want to see like how like low the bar is these days, Clayton Morris from Redacted has on Scott Ritter. And I'm not going to do this whole clip because I don't need to, and I want to show you a slice of it right now. This is not anything like where I can be accused of taking anything out of context, so I kind of don't care. And nobody, like, you're not going to learn anything from this. This is just propaganda. But listen to the state of this argument. And the title of this is, "Oh shit, Putin warns of direct clash with U.S. NATO readies forces," on Redacted with Clayton Morris. Okay, which, by the way, his wife is on, but somehow never gets credit. Listen to Scott Ritter's take on this. Listen to, this is amazing to me.
But first, I want to start with what we're hearing from Russia.
Yes, of course, because obviously the most trusted source.
From Moscow, that United States policies have put the U.S. and Russia on the brink of all-out war. And it sounds like from the United States side that they're ramping up this rhetoric instead of trying to tamp it down. What do you make of the...
And by the way, Russia ramping up the rhetoric by saying we're getting this close to being at war with you guys in particular. We're not fighting. We don't have troops on the ground there. But they're like, we're going to pick a fight with you. But it's up to us to tamp down Russia's rhetoric.
These words coming out of Moscow over the past 24 hours.
By the way, for those that don't know, Scott Ritter was one of the, I think, IAEA inspectors and spent a good deal of time in Russia. And since the time he spent in Russia has been a total Moscow sycophant. Like, the sun shines out of Vladimir Putin's ass to this guy. And in all honesty, I don't know if it was, if they dose you and hold your eyes open and make you watch propaganda films to make you think this way, or that he was just teed up that direction and they just, promised him an exit strategy and that was that. But it's amazing.
Well, I mean, we have to understand where...
And by the way, I got to this clip because it was on his Telegram channel. And I'm going to show you something right after he says what he says. Just keep in mind, listen to what he says about how the war is going to go. And then I want to show you what he wrote on his, I guess he didn't write it. He forwarded something on his Telegram channel.
The United States is coming from first. We're losing in Ukraine.
Okay, so we're, just so you know, we're losing in Ukraine.
We have doubled down. We've taken the mortgage, the kids' college fund, and everything, and we've placed it on a losing bet.
No. The United States, with its $26 trillion economy, the biggest economy in the world, is not using the kids' college fund for $100 billion worth of funding, especially when it's in the terms of a lend-lease or money that we will get back from either seizing Russian assets or Russia itself at some point down the line. No. The United States is not going into hawk over $48 billion. It's not happening.
We're going to lose.
No, we're not.
Ukraine will be defeated, and decisively. NATO will be humiliated, and the United States will be left holding the broken pieces.
By the way, he's been saying this since he was one of the people who said this war would last like 6 days and Kiev is going to fall and da-da-da.
This is a reality.
It's not even close to reality.
Now, what does America do for that? There's going to be a lot of rhetoric, of course, designed to shape a narrative. There's hope that somehow Russia can be persuaded to seek a diplomatic solution, an off-ramp to this conflict. And so rather than moderating their approach, rather than,
by the way, a diplomatic solution would involve moderating an approach at some point, one would think, but never mind.
Adopting the language of...
By the way, this is Clayton Morris putting a video later of Putin and showing you when they actually like each other and they're, hanging and he's outside and it looks all sunny and shit like this. And fucking Putin hasn't basically left the building except to go to China in whatever, 7 months.
Compromise. The United States is being very aggressive. The most recent aggressive move is the decision to provide Ukraine with Patriot surface-to-air missile batteries. But when you think about it, the first Patriot isn't going to show up on the battlefield for months.
No, month.
This war is going to be over by then.
Yeah, that's the other thing. This war is going to be over by then because Russia's going to win so decisively.
It's a meaningless gesture, and the United States knows it's a meaningless gesture. you'd have to train up an extraordinarily large number of Ukrainian forces. Each battery takes 90 men on the complexities of a system that doesn't work. Let's just be clear about the Patriot system. It doesn't work. It didn't work in the Gulf War, didn't shoot down any of Iraq's Scuds. It shot down more Allied aircraft during...
yeah, God knows we haven't updated this system since then. They just left it where it was. It hasn't improved. Computer technology hasn't improved since then either.
Operation Iraqi Freedom than Iraqi missiles, and it was unable to protect Saudi Arabia's Aramco oil fields from the Houthi drone attacks a couple years ago.
Yeah, it doesn't do that. There's other machines for that. These are specific.
The system...
But never mind. I'm pretending this is a real fucking argument. Wait till I show you. This is...
has an abysmal combat record. Even if it did work...
It does.
It could not be incorporated into the Ukrainian air defense network, which is a Soviet-era network right now being sort of patchworked with Western systems that are incompatible. There's no unified command and control, etc.
Yes, there is.
So the Patriot will go in.
And by the way, if that's the case, then the Ukrainians have been kicking Russia's ass with a patchwork system of Soviet and Western stuff that has no command structure. That's even worse.
It won't work. It will be destroyed. Ukrainians will die. This is the outcome. But from the Russian perspective, it's just one more example of the United States upping the ante. From...
That's, by the way, it's nice that they have a version of Russia that's orange. It makes it so bright, kind of autumny.
The Russian point of view is, to what end? Why does the United States keep doubling down on stupid, doubling down on failure?
Doubling down on stupid, doubling down on failure. This is after, by the way, this video isn't from fucking, I don't know, mid-March or some shit where you could have this fantasy idea that it's not working. This is after the fall of Kharkiv. This is after the fall of Kherson. This is after the Kerch Bridge.
At some point in time, if you keep doing this, the trajectory leads to the inevitability of a conflict, a military contact between Russia and the United States, Russia and NATO. So I think Russia...
By the way, what are we looking at? Russian vehicles doing donuts in the dirt?
Is doing its due diligence by calling the Americans out on this, saying this is a very
Okay, due diligence isn't about language. It's about study.
Dangerous direction that you're headed on. You might want to think twice about continuing down this path.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like what Russia says to fucking everybody all the time.
Zelensky and his whole regime sat down with The Economist magazine, which is, laughable.
Sure. They're obviously mainstream.
The Economist magazine, laughable
Yeah, so we laugh at The Economist. It's one of the most hilarious publications out there.
in and of itself.
Yeah, just the existence of it is hilarious.
So
is there even an economy? I don't know.
So they get unbelievable access.
Unbelievable. I guess, but at the same, but tell you what, tell us that Zelensky will talk to anybody and then tell us that they don't. All right.
In this interview, to me...
By the way, this video has 482,000 views that we're watching right now.
I mean, when I just...
Now, I don't know how many of them are real.
Sort of reading the tea leaves on this, you don't get access like this unless it's coordinated from somewhere.
Yeah, if they're going to have to call somebody and say, can we have an interview? And then that person's going to go, let me check. And then they're going to coordinate with the person that you want to interview. And then they're going to say, yeah, I'm available or I'm not available. And then they will coordinate when a good time would be. And then you're going to get them together. Or you can coordinate a situation where an attempted coordination can happen for an interview and then the interview never happens. But the coordinating efforts actually exist as well.
Right. When you see this type of an interview happen, I've been around the news business a long time to...
Yeah, until he fled the country because he stole money from investors.
No.
He was on Fox and Friends. Get the fuck out of here.
When something like this happens, there's some coordination that's unfolded, right?
Yes, it requires a couple of phone calls to set up interviews.
There's something, just like that Forbes or whatever it was, the Vogue photo shoot with Zelensky and his...
Yeah, you have to hire a photographer. There's a lot of coordinating going on.
And his wife. So just your take on this. I mean, basically, it seemed like a big PR move, this Economist interview, but there were some really interesting nuggets that came out of this interview. What was your take on this?
Now this is the moment where we figure out if he actually read it or not.
Well, first of all, the silence of Zelensky. He was present, but he wasn't a factor. The star of the interview was General Zaluzhny, the head of the Ukrainian armed forces.
And, oh, you mean the part where it says an interview with General Valery Zaluzhny, head of Ukraine's armed forces? Really? So in the interview with the head of the armed forces, the primary interviewee was the head of the armed forces. This is fucking weird. I don't understand media at all.
He was the centerpiece of this interview.
Yes, the interview of him. Yes, that tends to be how interviews work. Which
speaks volumes about the precarious situation that Zelensky finds himself in today. You know, he's always been an artificial construct. He is not the Churchillian figure that the media has portrayed him to be.
Yeah, asshat. He didn't really have a choice. Churchillian.
He's an empty suit. And
he doesn't wear a suit. At least say empty combat sweater.
Now, you know, his usefulness appears to have run its course with Ukraine facing inevitable defeat.
All right, again, listen to this.
I keep coming back to this. Ukraine is losing, has lost, will lose. It's over.
Okay, we'll put a pin in that later. Okay, now, where did I get that actual clip? Where did he post that? That was on his, on Scott Ritter's, here it is, Telegram channel, right here. This is where I found this clip. He posted this himself. Now, and he posts himself and all this kind of shit and these little videos and whatever and yada yada. Scroll back a little ways, and there is he does these little bullshit sit down things when he's by himself. These little 2-minute catch up things, and I like it's just goofy. But he posted earlier today, or like I don't know how long ago it was. Maybe it was like 48 hours ago. This message. This is one where he wants to pick a fight with Lindsey Graham. He wants to box Lindsey Graham. Hold on, maybe it's further down on this nonsense. But yeah, it is. There he is. He wants to. Scott Ritter challenges Lindsey Graham to a boxing debate. I don't know what the fuck boxing debate means. He wants to punch him because Lindsey Graham is saying fuck Russia and that's enough. Okay, so here, he forwards this. This is from a site from this guy Zrada, who is pro-Russian. All of his stuff is like pro-Russian. He's just mad they're losing. He's upset that the uppers and around Putin and stuff are fucking up this bad. So this guy writes, he posts this entire thing, and this other guy writes a summary of it. And this is a summary. Summary. A hell of a fuck is waiting for us ahead in the winter. There will be no significant chances to hold the current front line. The enemy is well aware of this. The enemy is the Ukrainians in this. Concentrating his forces where it is convenient and profitable for him. There is no progress on any of the points, the provision of which determines the success of the defense. Only regression, moreover, systematically encouraged. And especially, the fuck up will become obvious when the snow falls and the entire movement, including all our artillery, will be in full view of the enemy UAVs. And everyone is silent about it again. And then when the cities and regions will be surrendered again, everyone will be like, oh, how did this become possible? How are we were so hoping for Surovikin. He is so severe and brutal. Why did he fail? And Surovikin himself will be at a loss because even if you're at least 3 times the most fucking motivated, the most important field marshal, you are powerless to do anything if you have an army of wankers in your subordination, in which the gaps in stupidity start somewhere at the level of lieutenant colonels, go down and not up. I'll repeat it again, better understand, damn it. This level of military incompetence simply does not exist. This is where he thinks it's on purpose. There's a huge, massive betrayal, systematic preparation for a completely hellish massacre during the next Ukrainian offensive. The command of the Russian army leaves it no chance for success. And I'm not going to say that word. From among the experts and military correspondents who cover up and glorify this, suck the positive aspects out of this, bear their share of responsibility for all the future fuck-ups. I'm fucking shocked. I'm in the dark, bitch, shock. And I'm not whining or complaining now when Kokals, which is what they call the Ukrainians, break through the front. I will get my machine gun from under the castle, castle, put on my armor and go and try to kill someone before I die. And they will kill me, and I, damn it, will not see all the further shame in connection with which we can say I will be fine. Almost awesome. And you will all live in this fucked up place, and you will all be asking each other when Russia will be decolonized. How did this happen? How did it come? And that's how, damn it, exactly like this. You close your eyes, you close them, you wanted something positive, get it, damn it. You jerked off to Saint 1913, we'll get it. And then 1916 and 1917, it has been talked about 100 times. This is like World War I and how powerful the Soviets were and all that. In this winter, we managed to hold something somewhere, and the probability of this still remains. Then this will be possible only contrary to the command of the RF Armed Forces. Crowds of volunteers are now working day and night to maximize the chance of this holding the ground. Winning the war as a whole, in spite of, is a very non-standard task, much more difficult than anything obtaining regular delays in Berlin, defeated at the terrible cost of a lot of blood of the men at the front. Who fucking knows how to solve it? I haven't figured it out yet. And that's just a summary of this dude that he forwarded. That's on Ritter's channel. Okay? That's like maybe a day and a half ago. And this dumbass has been cranking out these little videos basically going, Russia's going to win. Russia's totally going to win.
What's up with Belarus? In short order, Russian President Putin, accompanied by his Minister of Defense, Shoigu, and his Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Yeah, so he does these little updates, and he just that's about him going to Belarus and how Belarus isn't going to join in. That piece of information I just showed you is at least a couple of days before he hops on with fucking with what's his name? Where is he? Clayton Morris, and does this video, and this is horrifying. This Scott Ritter and friends talking about Zelensky's trip is just one of the most. It's just idiotic. And then he's clinging to like Kissinger talking about we need to make peace. Fucking Kissinger, Henry Kissinger, the fuck out of here. So, anyways, that's the current state of like the Republicans and the right wing folks. Let's see. I thought House Sparks was going to be on a plane now. I've lost my mind. No, I'm home for the holidays. I'm just taking the day off tomorrow because it's Christmas Eve. Hi everybody. Hi chat room. I'm just going to say hi to you guys real quick. Just on the screen. Hi. Hello. Yeah. Does he go on Jimmy Dore? Yes, he does. Scott Ritter has been on Jimmy Dore as well. I mean, that's the circle.